Hello, group 3, the green eye group. So the previous video, the first video actually cut off. So this is part 2 of is he or she or they, are they the one? So is he or she the one? And before I begin, I just want to emphasize that this isn't going to resonate with everyone because it is a general reading. And if something doesn't resonate, you can just move on to another pile. And before I begin, I just want to remind you that I now have an Etsy page where you can get personal email readings from me, and the link to that Etsy page is in the description box below. So let's start right away. Is he or she the one? Let's pick up where we left off. So here we have 7 of Pentacles, we have 8 of Wands, and then we have the Fool. So I'm getting this vibe, honestly, that there's some kind of like, so this is like lucky charm energy. So like one or both of you, it's like you're each other's 4-leaf clover. This card represents return on investment. So I'm seeing that whatever happens, this person is sort of a form of luck in your life, like almost like a lucky, like a leprechaun or something. Okay, that's like a weird analogy, but yeah, they're lucky, like they bring luck. So that's good. And then we have 8 of Wands. So things are actually, I think they moved really fast, or they're going to move really quickly. They're going to escalate really quickly, whatever events are going to happen between you two. Here we have the Fool. So yeah, there's definitely this energy that I think intuitively you know that this is a lucky dynamic. It's full of sort of like abundance. I'm getting really abundant energy within this dynamic. Like when the two of you together are together, it's like when the two of you are together, like positive things happen, like progress happens. Like it's almost like you could almost imagine, you know, on a more sort of figurative level, like plants grow better, like the sun shines stronger, like things like that, you know. But we have the Fool. So I think whatever painful experiences you might have had in the past, or whatever negative experiences you've had, it's like when you're together, you kind of just go back to square one. It's almost like you forget. Like if you've ever seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, you know, you kind of like that. Like it's almost like everything kind of gets erased, or sort of like gets forgotten in terms of painful memories or experiences, and you just kind of go back to square one. Like it's like you bring each other back to sort of like a childlike state, like a naive state, and that's really positive. So let's move on and see if we have more symbolism here for you. Something might be meaningful here. So we have new life, and then we have conversation. So yeah, once again, you know, when you guys are together, it's like things grow, like whether that's luck, you know, your luck grows, abundance, like plants grow better, like things just progress better, like things move better in a positive way, in a positive direction. And I think once again, when you're together, it's like you are able to sort of like when you're emotionally bonding with this person, it's almost like it brings you back to almost like a childlike state, like your inner child. There's a lot of great energy, like bonding. It's like they make you forget any negative experiences or trust issues or whatever you have in your past. Like this person, once again, brings you new life, kind of tying into that abundant energy. I think of like flowers growing, like new green, like plants budding, growing, blossoming, things like that, or fruit growing on trees, like just that kind of energy when you're together. So this is a really great dynamic here. And then we have conversation. So I'm seeing that you guys kind of fell in love or really bond over conversation. Like you may be, I'm getting some air energy, so you may be one or both of you may be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra in your sun, moon, rising in your astrological natal chart. And yeah, you bond over conversation. Like maybe you have like witty banter, like fun conversations, like you make jokes with each other. You're both very bonded, I think on a mental level, like you connect mentally, like from your mind, and that's a lot of air energy, but it could also be some Sagittarian energy, but I'm really more so getting air here. So let's look at maybe some symbology we may have for you. So some symbology for the green eye group. Oh, okay, this goes so well with everything that I just said. So we have the tree. So yes, once again, your energy is when you're together, like things growing, like things, abundance, prosperity, like plants, trees growing, flowers blossoming, fruit growing on trees, like that kind of thing, and return on investment. So this person brings luck into your life, or you may bring luck into both of each other's lives, which is great. So let's look at some advice here for you. So we have sweet alyssum, which is clarity. Bright paths of understanding will open. Explore. Maps show what has already been discovered. Go another way. So yeah, I'm finding that, I think when you're together, like it just seems like any kind of confusion or negativity sort of clears up, and you just see like this bright beacon of hope, growth, like almost like, oh my gosh, I'm getting this energy of you're in this like desert, and then when you are with this person, like bonding emotionally with this person or on a soul level with this person, it's like you have finally reached like this lush oasis after wandering in the desert. Like I'm really getting that kind of energy, and it's really beautiful. I think of like a rainforest, like that kind of energy. It's like lush green, like growth, progress. And then here we have explore. So I'm seeing that you guys are both pretty adventurous, or you want to be more adventurous with each other. You want to maybe explore the world, try new things, and it does tie together really well with this sort of conversation card, because you connect really well on a mental level, like on an intellectual level. There's a bond there. There's definitely a bond in that realm. So yeah, explore together, try new things, try new experiences, just try, things that you never quite ever really thought that you would be able to try or ever really pushed yourself to try. Try it together. Explore what the world has to offer, and in a safe way, obviously. But yeah, so the answer to your question, ultimately, the answer to the main question, is he or she the one, is I think yes, there's a really strong chance that they are, because these are all very positive cards. It looks like, once again, that energy of growth, abundance, like I get like this feeling of, once again, you're wandering in an oasis, wandering in a dry desert, and then you reach this oasis. It's green and lush and just, prosperous, and like almost like a rainforest type situation. Like it's very lush and full of growth. But yeah, so yes, ultimately I am getting yes, they have a really strong chance of being the one. So that's all I have for group 3, the green eye group. Like, comment, subscribe, share if this resonated with you. And I just want to remind you again, group 3, the green eye group, that I now have an Etsy page where you can get personal email readings from me. And the link to that Etsy page is in the description box below. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into group, the last but not least group, the blue eye group, group 4. So yeah, is he or she the one? Is he or she the one? Let's get straight into it here. Is he or she the one? Let's look at these cards and try to determine if he or she or they are the one. Okay, so here I'm getting the Knave of Chalices, 8 of Chalices, and the Knight of Swords. So I'm just going to be frank with you. Okay, so the Knave of Chalices means someone who's kind of selfish. I think this person, they may not be selfish necessarily, but they're kind of childish, kind of, like they think about themselves and their needs a lot. That's what I'm getting. There are lots of people like that out there. So I guess that's not that rare. And then we have 8 of Chalices. So there's this feeling that maybe you've thought of moving on from this person in the past, or maybe the other way around, but I'm really more so getting that this is their energy and this is your energy, and you have thought about leaving this person before for whatever reason. Like I'm feeling like there was too much emotional burden Yeah, like there was a lot of emotional burden, I think, on you in this dynamic, maybe because they are pretty self-serving and they're almost like a little kid. When like children, like they haven't learned yet that you have to be considerate of others and you have to put others' needs, not necessarily first, but equal to your own needs, because being considerate of other people, it's like they haven't quite gotten past that stage of like knowing that as an adult, or as someone who has reached a certain age of maturity, like you're supposed to think of other people, like not just yourself and not just your own needs. And this person kind of struggles with that here. Like they're very childish, like it's almost like they're stuck in their youth, like yeah, that kind of energy. And here I'm getting Knight of Swords. So I think that there's this energy that you can be quite cold with each other sometimes. Just the Swords energy here is like maybe you've thought about leaving them, like maybe they've thought about leaving you, like you've both kind of like argued, and you can be quite cold and quite blunt, either them or you, with each other in like your words. Like it can be very cold and kind of just like blunt, and you might have said something to hurt them, or they might have said something to hurt you, and you're kind of like, wow, like I can't believe I just said that. It's just, or wow, I can't believe they just said that. But it's just this like cold, sort of cutting sort of vibe here. I'm very like impulsive, like just kind of saying things without thinking about the other person's feelings. And that's this vibe, Knight of Swords. So let's try to get a bit more insight here onto what may be going on, like what, let's try to get an answer. So unfinished symphony, and then we have message. So I'm getting here that whatever the case is, there's something in your life that you haven't quite finished. You haven't quite, it's like you were on this path, like something for yourself, like whether it be like self-growth, learning something, pursuing something when it comes to your career or personal passions or something. It could even be like, going on a trip with your friends that you wanted to go on, or doing something communal like that, like with a group of people that you kind of pushed aside, or I don't know, it could be anything really. But it does seem like there's an unfinished symphony here. Like there's something in your life that you kind of left off on, like you were on this path and you kind of stepped off the path. Maybe when this person entered your life, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. And here I see message. So you should, I think, look out for maybe a message, whether that's in your email, in your social media, or even just in person, like someone that you trust or someone that you know is reliable, a reliable source coming in and kind of telling you what they think. Just really open your mind and heart to this sort of message. And once again, it's a message that's coming from a source that you feel is truly reliable, that you can trust. Just listen for that kind of message, because I think this is going to really shed some insight here on this dynamic or whatever is going on. So just look out for a message somewhere in your midst, like social media or even in person or a phone call or text message or whatever it is. There's an important message coming in soon from somebody that, once again, this person should be somebody that you feel like you can trust, who you feel safe with, that that they're being honest with you. Just look out for that message. And here we have some symbology for you. We have the Mountain. So I'm just going to be honest, like this looks like it's going to be a difficult dynamic. Whatever the case, it's going to be difficult to really make this work. I'm seeing like the Mountain represents challenge. It's not an easy task to climb a mountain, very difficult. So whatever the case is, I think ultimately it has to do with just maybe some incompatibility, or the fact that, once again, this person is kind of immature, like they're kind of stuck in this sort of like almost like terrible twos, like if with children, like they just throw tantrums, like everything has to be their way. They don't really like being considerate of others, like they just want what they want, and everything is about sort of their own needs. Like they haven't the other person, they haven't quite left that stage, remember? So I'm seeing that it will be very difficult for you, I think, to make this work, or maybe there's just an incompatibility here. But once again, look out for that message from that reliable source, because that's going to shed some serious insight into this. And once again, make sure that they're reliable and that you can trust them with their information, that it's really going to shed some insight. So let's look at some more messages to try to determine what's going on here. Let's try to determine an answer. So we have listen. Okay, so listen, I think that goes pretty well with this. The message from the reliable source that you trust. And then here we have tiger lily. So security, choose the safe harbor for now. So I'm honestly getting with these messages, listen to your loved ones, not just that messenger that's going to give you that insight, but listen to your loved ones. Listen to people that you feel safe with and you feel like you can trust mutually. Listen to what they have to say about this person and this dynamic, because they're really going to give you some really good advice here. People that you can trust, that you know have your best interest at heart. Once again, really listen to them. Don't just listen to their words, but really like reflect with your mind and heart, like what they're trying to say. Because this is going to be really important. And then here we have tiger lily, security. So choose the safe harbor. So I'm seeing that you should play it safe. Like, don't jump into anything. Don't be impulsive. Don't just do things because you feel like external like noise that's kind of like crowding your headspace, telling you like you should do this, you should do that, or you should, don't look around at other people. Like, just try to be introspective, look inside yourself to truly get an answer, and listen to those people, once again, that love you unconditionally and are looking out for you and have your best interest at heart, because ultimately that's really important here in making important decisions like this. And so, to be honest, the answer, like the actual answer to the question, is he or she the one? Honestly, to be completely honest with you, there's not a huge likelihood that they are. Like, there's a really low chance. Like, even if you did choose this person for whatever reason, there's not a lot of soulmate or twin flame energy here. Like, you're very kind of I'm getting some incompatibility, and if you were to sort of try to make it work, it's going to be really difficult. Like this mountain, once again, mountain card. So yeah, listen to yourself, listen to the people that you trust and love, and look out for that message, once again, that's going to come in from a reliable source that's really going to shed some insight here on this dynamic. And I think ultimately with this tiger lily card, I think it's also saying to don't like play with your heart, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like playing with fire, like tossing your heart into the fire when you know it's dangerous and it's not a good idea, but maybe there's a reason why you're thinking about doing that, maybe, but it's not necessarily a healthy reason. So yeah, play it safe. If you have to protect yourself, your mind and your heart, and nurture yourself, and really just choose safety, I recommend doing that as soon as possible. Like, if you ever feel like this isn't healthy or this isn't quite working for me, it's honestly best to make a wise decision now instead of putting it off. But yeah, the answer is probably not, basically, because it's going to be really difficult. Yeah, that's my blunt answer. But once again, this may not resonate with everyone, so you could choose another pile if honestly this was not really resonating with you. But that's all I have for group 4, the blue eye group. I'm sorry it wasn't more positive. So like, comment, subscribe, share if this resonated with you. And I just want to remind you again, group 4, the blue eye group, that I now have an Etsy page where you can get personal email readings from me. And the link to that Etsy page is in the description box below. So I hope this was helpful and insightful, and good luck. Bye.